What a gorgeous day. My name is Brian Cantor. I'm originally from Yorkshire, England, a place called Leeds. And Paul and I met whilst we were both living in London.
Breakfast! Well, maybe you should put placemats, yeah? Nice place. Wipe your feet. My name is Paula Breck. I was born in Lawrence, Massachusetts, 1961, and I always wanted to be a hairdresser.
Our first business in 1988 was 200 square feet, which if you look at this room here, this room is about 400 square feet. So.
And that business was started as a love story because Brian was English and I was American and he needed a green card. And he wouldn't marry a woman. He said, I won't marry a woman because it's who I love. And we went to see the lawyer. How could he get a green card? And she said, well, if you opened a business, because he has product knowledge and a business degree, I could get him in the country that way.
Now we have 3 salons. Along the way, we developed a line of hair care products. We definitely morphed into a much larger business concern with hundreds of employees, and it's a totally different business whatsoever. I call him the Chief Creative Officer, in that his creativity flows down through every area of our business.
Brian gave it a personality. It was always like a family business, and people gravitate towards that.
So just finish drying. Just if you tip upside down and stuff.
It's a combination of talent and making people want to be with you in your chair. They only want to see Paul. They only want him. He makes these women feel great about themselves. That's a talent. That's really an innate talent. They leave his chair feeling great.
These green bagels.
Green
Just like
bagels?
St. Patrick's Day bagels.
They're not green, they're whole wheat.
But you know, when I said to you before that it's like I had a relatively untroubled experience as a youth, Paul, when he was at high school, had the total opposite. This project that we're doing here today would have helped him a lot in what he went through.
It was very, I used to get beaten up every day because I couldn't hide being gay.
Every day.
I heard that. I think because my voice and my intonations and the way I move, and I don't try to move that way, but obviously I move in a way that lets people know that I'm gay. I could never have a struggle coming out because I could never fit in. So it's like I was always out. I would love to be an actor. I can't even act straight. I try. Put on my deep John Wayne voice. When you're young and you're tortured, sleeping is not easy. Sleeping was very difficult because you'd always be thinking about how you're going to avoid the situation of tomorrow. And it's nice to be able to sleep. It's nice to come to a place and have a home where you can actually start to sleep because you feel safe.
When did that happen, Brian?
When I met Brian, it happened. When I met Brian, my life started to change.
So we're working in this trade show, and part of Paul's gig at being this platform artist doing demonstrations was that he had to sell product along with it. And he was selling so much product, and we were selling nothing. And I went over to him and said, I need to learn from you. How are you selling? What are you doing? I need to learn something from you. So I said, maybe we could, grab a bite to eat when we're at lunchtime and we can go. So I was very hesitant to date Brian because I was leaving England and I'd be traveling back to the United States. And I thought, well, this isn't going to work out. It's like, listen, you were just a fling for me. And I'm walking away and I'm like, I said to him, you just broke my heart. And I walked away. And then maybe after like a minute or two, I heard him, stop, stop, stop. I made a mistake. We should, let's see what happens. That was it.
He wakes up every day and says, I love you so much. Now, for 25 years, you don't know me very well, but there are some days where I'm a little witchy. So for somebody to say, I love you when you're witchy,
we just grew together. We met when we were kids, and we've always enjoyed being with each other. We get a kick out of each other, we both laugh, and we have a good time. My overriding goal is really simply to stop working as soon as we can and be together and travel and do all the things that we like to do. At a point in our lives, we separated. I had been unfaithful. I fully accepted you know, my transgressions and realized that I had broken Paul's trust immensely. It was not the relationship, it was me. Paul didn't do anything wrong.
After 6 months of just staying, after I found out, I told him that I had to live away from him for a year. He said, what can I do to win you back? And I said, there's only one thing you can do. You have to go into therapy, and then we have to see a therapist together. And you have to be able to answer this question for me. Why, if you love me so much, you would risk everything that we have, a business, 2 homes, a love, a dog. Why would you risk that all for a stranger?
And I felt discombobulated the whole time. I was like, there was something missing the whole time. And so it was that element of being whole, I didn't feel whole. At that point, determined to do anything I could to try and make things work again.
Nothing's perfect. Relationships aren't perfect. Nobody gives you a map and says, this is how you gotta live and this is the path you've gotta follow. And at the end of the day, I lived through far worse, and I know he is the love of my life. I was raised on a tradition of like Sunday dinners. This is like the tradition continues. We always have friends for dinner.
So Paul and Brian send the Save the Date card out for their anniversary in
Right.
what, March? And then the New York legislature passes the gay rights marriage law and makes it effective the day they're having their anniversary party. Now, if that's not meant to be, I don't know what's meant to be. No.
We wanted to take advantage of the change in the law, which took place on that very evening. We had a friend who was a judge, so we decided to do it that night.
For 25 years, you have been my best friend. With great joy, I have made you happy. With deep remorse, I have made you sad. Through all of this, I have never faltered in believing with all my heart there is only you in my life. I promise you all the joy I am capable of giving, all my strength to share life's sorrows, all my material possessions, for they mean nothing to me without you. I love you to the moon and back. Again, and my greatest fear is to live in a world without you in it. So I ask you to have me as you have had me for 25 years, till the end of my life and to my soul's eternity. Say only yes, and I am yours.
Marriage is a part where you say, I'm going to be there to the end of your life in this life. And if there is another life, I know our eternal souls will be bonded together. And I do believe that. I believe that Brian and I are soulmates and that we go beyond this world.